the 15 and 16, they not licensed to carry no gun. So what type of time you think they on, bro? In Chicago, we call it demon time. Imagine this. You walk into your regular grocery store. Same aisle, same smells, same routine. But today, you're not walking out with a bag of groceries. You're walking out in handcuffs. Why? Because in a split second, you felt threatened. And instead of freezing, you reacted the way you were trained to. The way you believe the law allowed you to. Because you're licensed to carry. And when you carry the responsibility to protect yourself. But here's the twist. Just because you feel like your life is on the line doesn't mean the law sees it the same way. This story hit me hard. A young black man believed he was defending himself, and now he's being charged with murder after killing one teen and injuring another. Now, do I agree with his actions? Kind of, because the truth is, we don't know everything yet. But what I do know is, I'm gonna need you to like this video to help your boy get some motion. And leave me a comment. Look, if you don't know what to comment, just drop a fire emoji. And if you wanna show me some love, then just leave me a heart. But let's watch this clip together, then I'll tell you exactly where I stand.
Corner grocery store earlier this week. Our Steve Keeley, who was on scene minutes after, has more on the 15-year-old who was hit and killed, and now the man charged with his murder.
22-year-old Jaquan Higgs has now been charged with murder in the double shooting homicide Wednesday here inside the Maryland grocery store at 54th and Ray Streets just past 2 p.m. Philadelphia police sources tell me Higgs stayed on scene at the store after shooting two armed juveniles, killing a 15-year-old and critically wounding a 16-year-old shot in the face. Philadelphia police sources identified.
Did you guys hear that? That he actually stayed at the store after he killed the one young man and then injuring the other young man. Almost as if the guy who actually did murder these young people, he knew that he felt as if he was in the right. But I want you to continue watching and continue listening and seeing exactly what they say. And I kind of feel like we're missing some pieces here, but I'm going to go ahead and play it.
By the 15-year-old as Seth Marshall, who was shot and killed while armed with this semi-automatic gun with an extended magazine. Witnesses inside the store picked it up and...
So the young man who was killed, he was armed with a weapon. I want y'all to, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. I'm going to stop pausing, but I want you guys to really pick up the key points in the story.
Put it under a car across the street to keep it from being used as they ran out of the store. Police found it and took it in. One of 3 guns recovered. Police say the 16-year-old also had a gun that was found inside the store. Police sources tell me that Higgs has a permit to legally carry a concealed weapon. Police took his gun that day, too. As he told detectives, he fired at the 2 teenagers in self-defense. Sources say store surveillance shows.
So here you have a young man who he stuck around and stayed, and he waited for the police to get there. And he tells them straight up, like, look, man, I fired at them in self-defense. But yet he's charged with a murder. Now, this is the thing that bothers me. Like, I feel for the families, but it's like for my young boys out there, like I said, between the age of 13 and 24. Y'all walked in this store on dirt, and I know y'all did. Like, they gonna say something completely different because I did watch this clip already. But this man was licensed. Not only was he licensed, he stuck around. Does this sound like somebody who was like in the streets and okay, this one of the ops, so I'm about to blow him down? No, this somebody who did everything right. You can't even get a license and all of this other stuff to carry without, if you had felonies or if you had a crazy past. So this some young man who actually thought that he was standing his ground, that he was in self-defense. And I know that you heard that one of the boys, he actually had a semi-automatic pistol on him. But I want you guys to see what the news say, like how they kind of try to spin it or whatever when it comes down to the young man who did decide to defend himself. So I'm about to just run that back real quick.
In self-defense. Sources say store surveillance shows that neither teen pulled their guns out before they were shot. The store video shows the 15-year-old's gun visibly sticking out of his waistband as he was near the front door and raised his phone. not his gun and began typing a text and was just 2 letters in when he was shot in the head and killed.
Okay, so here we go. So for one, we're not getting a chance to actually see the footage, right? So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I don't mind being wrong, and I don't mind somebody checking me and telling me, right? So here you got, let's play out the scenario. Let's play out the scenario. So they say on the camera, right? Here you got 2 young men who walk into a store, right? Where you can visibly see their weapons on them, young boys, right? Now, the news say, according to them, that they never pulled out their actual weapons. I'm talking about the young boys, one of the boys who died and the other one who was critically injured. Never pulled out their weapons. They never did. But all he did was pull out his phone and text. And then the guy who was licensed to carry, he was the one who actually drawed his weapon and fired and shot the one guy in the head. So this is my thing. Maybe I'm crazy. If I'm wrong for taking up for the guy who was licensed to carry, then God forgive me because I'm wrong. But they leaving out small details. For one, we're not able to see what's on the camera, right? And a lot of times things kind of take like a crazy turn. Like, I don't know if you guys ever been in a situation where you got this one guy who talking mad crazy, like, hey, you never know what was said to the man who was licensed. These young boys probably, like I said, we not seeing the video, but these young boys probably threatening him, saying all type of stuff to him. You know what I'm saying? Then if he pull out a text, he probably was sending out a text. Now I'm telling you, bro, I'm from these neighborhoods, and so I'm not saying that they give me the right to sit up here and make crazy assumptions, but just follow me, just like really listen to me, like how I'm trying to tell out this story, because I'm trying to tell you like a little part of the street, something that the news that they not actually telling you. So the young boys probably arguing with the mans who licensed to carry or whatever, talking mad crazy or whatever. Then most likely they threatening them, all type of stuff, right? And then if he gonna pull out his phone, he probably pulling out his phone to tell some more of the guys to come up there, right? So I'm not saying that my man's was right or wrong for killing Shorty in the head. All I'm saying is we missing details. And the one thing that bothers me is that these young boys, you going around, you bullying older people. You never know how I know this, bro, because I'm in Chicago. I know how they move, bro. And even though my man's was licensed to carry, he was licensed to carry the gun, right? The one who actually did commit the murder for protecting himself. But I'm going to let this continue.
The 16-year-old is seen on the store surveillance paying for his food order at the front counter when he was shot. Both teens, sources tell me, have extensive criminal records despite their young ages.
Okay. I'm telling you, man, the way they spinning this, bro. So here we go. Like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If more details come out about this, then I'll take that on the chin, right? So you mean to tell me, so Shorty is ordering his food, right? The 16-year-old who was shot, he ordering his food, and he just get blasted by my mans who licensed to carry just for no reason? For no reason? He just shoot the kid for no reason. All right. And then they just told you that these kids, that the shorties who was shot had an extensive criminal record. Watch this. Hold up. Let's play it again.
Sources tell me have extensive criminal records despite their young ages. The 15-year-old, law enforcement sources say, was wanted on weapons charges in Montgomery County. Higgs had no criminal record at all.
So can you follow me through the story? So my man's right here, the one who was licensed to carry, had no criminal record. No criminal record. One of the shorties had a criminal record with what they say. What was it? Was it a weapons charge or something? Hold on, let's see.
The 15-year-old, law enforcement sources say, was wanted on weapons charges in Montgomery County.
So the 15-year-old wanted on weapon charges, right? They ain't saying what the 16-year-old was wanted on. But these young boys, they walk around in these neighborhoods. They talking crazy to adults. They got no respect, all type of stuff. And this is what I want to talk to if I can talk to my young boys out there, my young boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, bro. if you going around and you feel like you need to carry a pistol on you or whatever in your own neighborhood because of the ops, right? Because of the ops and the situation that you put yourself in, like, bro, keep that street stuff between you and I guess your ops or something like that. But I really would like you to stop it all together. Now it's a whole, I can go into a whole thing about that. But the problem that bothers me is this young boy, the one who actually was licensed or whatnot. He sit up here and most likely he about to lose his, not lose his life as in death, but I call going to jail for murder, I call that death, man. He most likely about to lose a lot of his life all because of some other young boys talking crazy or something like that. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that the man should have murdered one of these young boys. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we don't know the whole story. And I'm just telling you how the streets work. You know what I'm saying? How these boys are. You come into these areas and they talking crazy, you talking greasy. And then you know how it is. It's like when you got your boy with you, for some reason, these boys be thinking like, okay, I got my boy. That's when the testosterone really get to going and they really get to getting in their bag, talking crazy, talking mad trash. Now, the news ain't gonna sit here and tell you the whole story because most likely these cameras you can't even hear exactly what's being said. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure my man who was licensed to carry, most likely he was being threatened. And he like, yo, if you not about to threaten me, and then buddy pulled his phone out, he probably thought it was a gun or anything. My man's talking about the news talking about all he did was able to get a few words in. Look. He probably like, we got a goofy up here at the store. He talking crazy. Probably called some of his guys. Buddy probably in fear, most likely. And I'm just saying, if I got any white people or anybody who don't know how the streets work, and you just all you can hear is like what's going on the news, and you kind of trying to figure it out. Buddy was talking crazy. These young boys most likely talking crazy to dude. Dude had his license to carry on him, and he felt some type of way. He like, man, like, all right, man, hey, bro, chill out. Then he seeing that they got guns on them, and they probably sending out threats. Then dude probably pull out his phone. He probably thought that the phone itself was a gun, or he probably see like, bro, y'all about to call more of y'all guys up here, all type of stuff. Now, like I said, like, I hate street politics. I hate street rules. I hate anything dealing with the streets because I really feel like these three individuals, the young boy who was injured, the young boy who died, and the young man or whatnot who actually committed the murder, like, I really feel bad for you. You know what I'm saying? And I just hate that this type of stuff be happening in our neighborhoods. But my stance is I really want these young boys to think about what you're doing because you never know who you talking to. And why the heck you walking around with a pistol anyway? And I already know what you're going to tell me. If it was a chat right now, I already know what they'd be saying. They'll probably be like, bro, it's for the ops, bro. It's for the ops. Man, bump all that. Let's continue hearing what the news had to say.
County. Higgs had no criminal record at all, allowing him to legally get a permit to carry. And he lived right across the street from the store on Ray Street, and sources say almost everybody knew that he carried a gun and he was a regular on.
So my man who was licensed to carry lived right across the street from this grocery store. Yo, this is, hearing this for the second time, like, this is crazy.
Most daily customer of the store. Tonight, he is charged with murder, attempted murder, and more, as he will now have to make his self-defense claim in a courtroom. The 16-year-old shot in the face and knee was in critical condition. Sources tell me he had just been released from juvenile detention days before this shooting. He will now face new charges, too, for the gun he was carrying. In West Philadelphia, Steve Keeley, Fox 29 News.
Yo, for all my boys out there in Philly, man, I pray for y'all, but I'm going to say this, man. It's disturbing to hear because the more you like really listen to it, and I'm just over here letting my imagination flow, and all I can think about is the fact that it probably was a lot of testosterone flying around. It probably was a lot of somebody said something back, and then my man's pulled out the gun, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, at first I'm taking Buddy, who was licensed to carry side, but I'm just really thinking about what situation would allow you to sit up here and pull your gun out, especially on these young boys. So I'm thinking like words was exchanged, but even then, bro, you got to be even. you gotta really think about all the consequences that can happen at all times. And I know sometimes we let our anger and our frustration get to us, and then we sit up here and we decide to take an action. So I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this about anybody who find themselves in a situation like this, man. Just think, because sometimes it's not even worth proving how tough you is to somebody just because they got a pistol on them and you got something on you. It's not even worth it, man. It's not even worth trying to show how tough you is. Now, one thing that scares me is maybe Buddy killed dude out of fear, right? Maybe he killed the young boy out of fear. Maybe he killed the young boy when dude pulled his phone out and he thought that it was the gun. I don't know, because the news not telling us everything. They giving us like this general type of thing. But all I can say, man, is I would hate to be in a situation like this, and I hate that Buddy even thought that it was okay to kill Buddy. But who want to wait until, I know the law be like, you got to be in, like, what is it called? Like, I don't know the stand your ground laws or the self-defense laws or anything like that, but who want to sit here and wait until my man's pull his gun out and he shoot at me, and then I'm able to, now the law states I can pull my gun out and shoot? Like, bro, what if he pull his gun out and these little illegal kids, they got illegal guns on them, pull his gun out and kill me before I can even draw my weapon? So I don't even like how the laws work here, but it's unfortunate because we can't really give a true idea or true summary or a true thing of feelings and emotions on this topic because we don't know everything. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I want you guys to tell me inside the comments or whatever, what would you have done in this situation? Do you think that the man who was licensed, do you think that he was wrong? Do you think that he was right? Or what do you think the scenario could have happened or could have took place for him to even choose to murder that young boy? But all right, man, I'm done with that topic. I'm out.